If you've checked job listings recently, you probably noticed something strange. Half the postings want years of experience in a language that's barely a decade old, and the rest are still desperate for Python devs like it's 2015. Meanwhile, your group chat is full of people arguing about whether you even need to learn to code anymore now that AI writes like 99.67% of every codebase. So, which one do you actually learn, and which ones are just hype that'll be forgotten in 2 years? Let's talk about it. Oh, and quickly before we start, we're at 90K subs right now, just 10K away from the silver play button. So please hit that subscribe button so we can get there together, fellow codeheads. All right, let's go. Here are the 5 languages that matter the most in 2026, picked based on where the jobs are heading, not just what's trending on Twitter this week. Let's start with the obvious one, Python. I know, groundbreaking pick. But here's the thing. In the big 26, just knowing Python doesn't really set you apart anymore. Literally everyone has a Python snake game in the GitHub. What's changed is what it's attached to. Every AI agent framework, every LLM pipeline, every scraper or automation script people are bragging about online is Python. If you're building anything touching machine learning, beta, or AI agents right now, Python is the glue holding it all together. So the real question isn't whether you should learn it, it's what you're actually building with it. All right, next up, Go. If you've ever typed Docker build or deployed anything to Kubernetes, you've already relied on Go without realizing it. Google built it to handle exactly the kind of large-scale, concurrent systems that cloud infrastructure runs on. And that concurrency model, Go routines, is honestly one of the easiest ways to write fast, multi-threaded code without losing your mind. That's why it became one of the most requested backend languages out there. It's not flashy, nobody's making memes about ghosts and tax, but recruiters love it, and that alone should tell you something. Number 3 is the one that scares people off, Rust. And honestly, the learning curve explains it. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. The Bardo checker will make you question your life choices for the first few weeks. But here's the payoff. Rust gives you memory safety and raw performance without needing a garbage collector, the kind of stuff that used to take years of C++ experience to get right. It's already showing up in browser engines, parts of the Linux kernel, and the growing number of backend services where a single crash matters way more than you think, and companies are paying for it. Rust is consistently one of the highest paid languages right now, right up there with Go. Okay, here's the one you probably haven't heard of, Zig.
You serious?
Think of Zig as someone looking at C and going, what if we just fixed all of this without dragging in Rust complexity? No hidden control flow, no sneaky memory allocutions hiding behind the scenes, just straightforward low-level code with a feature called comp time that lets you run code at compile time instead of runtime. It's already running in real projects. The Bun JavaScript runtime is built on it, and it's been climbing fast in developer surveys lately, especially on GitHub. This is the one to bookmark for later. Okay, last one. And I already know what some of you are thinking. Java, again? Really? But stick with me for a second. Java is still running a massive chunk of the world's banking, insurance, and enterprise systems, the kind of stuff that doesn't get ripped out and replaced overnight no matter how old it feels. On the modern side, Kotlin is now the default language for Android development, baked right into Android Studio. And Kotlin multi-platform lets you share code across mobile, web, and backend from one codebase. Boring on the surface, extremely stable underneath, and stability pays the bills. So that's the list. Python, Go, Rust, Zig, and Java with Kotlin. 5 languages that are actually worth your time in 2026, whether you're just starting out or trying to figure out what to learn next. And if you're looking for a place to learn any of these or any other programming language that has piqued your interest, then look no further than Coursera, the sponsor of today's video. Coursera has thousands of coding courses, but 3 of them line up perfectly with everything we just talked about. First, Python for Everybody by the University of Michigan. Beginner-friendly, taught by an actual university professor, it teaches you Python's data structures, how to use it to access web data and databases. And if Python is not your cup of tea, the Java Programming and Software Engineering Specialization by Duke University takes you from the basics of programming all the way through problem solving with software, data structures, and software design principles. And you finish it by building your own recommendation engine like Netflix or Amazon. And if your team Team Golang, then Programming with Google Go Specialization by UC Irvine takes you from the fundamentals and code implementation all the way through concurrency with Go routines, which is the kind of thing that separates mid-level engineers from senior ones. All 3 courses are self-paced with certificates you can add straight to your LinkedIn. Use my link in the description for 40% off 3 months of Coursera Plus. Go check it out.